Hey everyone, welcome back to the Beauty Bags. It's time for my July favorites, and I was really excited to do my monthly favorites video this month because there were quite a few things that I was really excited about. Things like the Urban Decay Naked palette, which I finally got my hands on after months and months of wanting it, and of course it was sold out on Sephora.com. But that ended up being kind of a good thing. It gave me a good long time to really think about whether I really wanted this palette and really wanted to spend the money on it, but I'm glad that I did. Of course, it's just 12 neutral shades, really basic, really wearable. The reason I really wanted this palette was because it's the first time that Urban Decay has ever come out with a palette where I really felt like I would wear all of the colors in it. Some of their other palettes, I feel like, yeah, they're really pretty, but there's maybe only about half of the shades that I would wear on a regular basis, and if you're only going to use half of the colors, then that's not really a very good value. But this palette was an exception for me because I've had this palette for a month now, and I have used every single color, and I'm really happy with all of them. They're all really silky, really blendable, the pigmentation is great, really versatile, lots of looks you can create. The only thing I can think that might be a negative for some people is if you absolutely despise shimmer, then you're not going to like this palette because of the 12 shades, of course, there's only 2 that are totally matte. The rest all have some level of shimmer, whether it be like just a fine pearl or, but some of them are quite metallic, like Half-Baked, and then this one here, like, what's it called, Sidecar, is super glittery. So yeah, if you're not a shimmer fan, then that's probably not the palette for you, but I kind of like shimmer. Actually, I really like shimmer. So I've been loving that and using it a lot. Another really handy palette that's just like really kind of foolproof if you maybe aren't a fan of the Naked palette or don't want to spend that much money is this little Smoky Eyes palette from NYX. I have used this a ton since I bought it. It's 10 shades. Again, they're all neutrals, a lot of like kind of shimmery charcoal grays and some really rich dark browns like that one there. They're just really, really silky and really blendable. That's kind of what the brown looks like when you blend it out. It's really easy to get a smoky eye with these. They're really soft and silky and easy to work with. And just some really great basic shades as long as you like the colors that are kind of more dark and dramatic. So I've used that one a lot too. I think what sets these two apart is probably just that the colors in the NYX palette are like cooler shades, whereas the colors in the Naked palette are quite warm. So that's something to bear in mind. What else have we got here? From Hard Candy, this month I really found myself reaching for this Ginormous Lash Volumizing Mascara, and I think it's because I finally figured out the best way to apply it. It's one of those ones that's got a brush that's kind of curved on one side and flat on the other, and I was watching a video here on YouTube by Sarah Victor. I'll put a link to her channel down below. She mentioned that these sort of mascaras work best if you use the flat side first to kind of really build up the volume, and then flip it over and use the more curved side to kind of comb out the lashes and add length. And so I've been doing that, and that's been working really well. I've been getting really full, fluttery lashes without clumps. And the other thing I really love about this mascara, I have it in the shade Carbon Black, and it is super, super black. It's really a pet peeve of mine, those black mascaras that have kind of a gray cast to them. I can't stand that. I like them to be really, really black, and this one is. So since I finally figured out the best way to apply it, I've been reaching for that a lot. It lasts all day, it doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge, and it's only $5 at Walmart. So when this tube runs out, I'll probably definitely be picking that one up again. The NYX Mega Shine Lip Gloss in French Kiss. So I picked this up while I was out west in June, and I've just been using it a ton since then because it's that perfect sort of nude shade for me. It's really close to my natural lip color, but it just kind of enhances the lips in a really subtle way because it's got a very fine kind of pearly shimmer that runs through it. And that's what it looks like right there. And the other thing I really love about the NYX Mega Shines is the lasting power is far better than any other gloss I've tried. the color stays put. Like even if the kind of gloss wears off, the color kind of stays behind, and so you don't feel like you have to constantly be reapplying it. So really reach for that one a lot. What else was a favorite this month? Oh, I picked up this Physicians Formula Happy Booster Powder. Now, I looked at these many times in the store and didn't really want to pay the full price because they're $20 normally, but a couple of weeks ago I was in the grocery store and they had these on sale, and in addition to the sale price they came with a $6 rebate, so by the time all that was said and done I got it for $6, so I was pretty pleased with myself for getting it for such a low price. So I picked up the light bronzer. The other thing that kind of scared me away from these, aside from the price, was the shimmer, because when you see them in the store, and maybe even my light here at my makeup table, because it's fluorescent, the fluorescent lighting really picks up the shimmer and makes them look like they're really super glittery. And so I don't like a ton of glitter on my skin because I have oily skin that tends to be shiny anyway, so I tend to steer clear of glitter, but these look a lot more glittery in the pan than they actually are. When you apply them to the skin, it's just kind of a soft sheen, just kind of gives you a nice glow. And this light bronzer is really great for fair skin because it's not too dark, so it doesn't come off looking muddy, and it's not orangey at all. It's just kind of a perfect light tan color that works really well for fair skin. So I've been using that a lot this past month. I've mentioned these products a million times before, you're probably sick of hearing about them, but the NYC Smooth Skin Foundation and the Liquid Concealer, I wanted to mention these in my July favorites because I have been using them a lot this month. I use them all the time, but I felt they were worth a mention here because we have been having such hot, humid weather in the month of July, and these have really stood up to the heat without completely melting off my face, which has really impressed me. I feel like I can really rely on these products even on the hottest of days. When it was super hot, there was a couple days there where I didn't even really want to put on foundation just because I just didn't want more stuff on my skin, and so I just used the concealer, just kind of took a little synthetic blending brush and just kind of buffed it over any areas where I wanted extra coverage and just used that, and it was perfect for that hot weather. So those products have saved my skin in the heat. The L'Oreal Infallible, Color Infallible eyeshadows, the ones that come in these little pots, and they're a couple of really intense shimmery shades. I picked up this one called All Night Blue, which is a gorgeous midnight blue shade. Looks like that. Just really intense. You can really blend them out for like a full-on smoky effect, or they're deep enough and dark enough that you can even use them as a liner. I used this one a few times just smudged into the lash line, and it looks really pretty used that way. The texture of these is excellent. They're kind of a cross between a cream and a powder, so they just blend like you wouldn't believe. And the pigmentation is great. And they do last. That's what it looks like when it's kind of blended out. They do last quite a while on the skin, but I always use eyeshadows of any kind with a primer. And I haven't had any issues with them creasing as long as I use a primer, so loving those. Last but not least, Nicole surprised me with a gift this month. She sent me the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Flush, which is this really pretty matte magenta color. Looks like that. That's a really heavy swatch, like don't be frightened. What I've been doing is just taking my little e.l.f. angled brush and just lightly tapping it in the product and then kind of building it up on my cheeks to get the level of intensity that I want. That's what it looks like when it's more blended out. And I'm so glad she picked this for me because it's not a color that I probably would have chosen for myself. I probably would have been too scared to try it because it is so intense, but it's such a good shade for me. I think anything in the fuchsia or magenta family just really complements fair skin and really makes blue eyes stand out. I think, I don't know, something about that color just forms a really nice contrast with the blue. So I got this about a little more than 2 weeks ago, and I've used it every day since I've gotten it. I just absolutely love that color. And I love that it's matte too, because I have tons of blushes that are shimmery, and it's nice to have something that's not got any shimmer in it whatsoever. So those were all the products that I was absolutely loving in the month of July. Anyway, that's July favorites. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.